wanna be the best in the game, invest in my name, check no restraints, I'm obsessed with the pain. I ingest, I retain, assess and I change, possessed by the thought I'll be free one day from society's restraints, money, clout and fame, mud, disease, a plague. We all love to hate, have to play the game, have to make a name. All our insecurities are on display. This is war with the enemy, think that it was meant.
Boom. We're live. We're live. Another day, like the title says, same story. This shop is like, I need to get my truck out of there. I called a wrecker service about an hour ago to see how much it would cost to get my truck out of the current shop it's in and to a different shop. The downside is the other shop can't get to me for probably another week, which means I would just fly home. The other shop I'm thinking about bringing my truck to is actually one of the shops that referred me to the shop that my current truck's at. Let me shut that back TV off. I am still waiting to hear from the shop that the truck's at. I got a hold of them this morning and he had said the part's not in. I will keep you updated. And he had told me that right around lunchtime is when he gets his parts delivered. Well, it's 1 o'clock Eastern time right now, and I haven't heard anything from him. I texted, no answer. I called, no answer. I am at the point of, like, I've exhausted, like, my patience. I feel like I have been very, very patient, very understanding. I understand that the shop is dealing with having to order parts, and parts, something as simple as this is not readily available. I did talk to him on Friday and he's like, when we replace this, I'm going to do the alignment again. And he's like, I still might have to check the steering and stuff. And I was like, wait a minute, like, that hasn't been done yet. Like, that's something that you can kind of look at. He's talking about like internal stuff on the steering box. And basically what I'm getting at is replace, because right now that other leaf springs off the truck, just replace it and I'm taking the truck out of there. That's where I'm at. And I don't care if I deadhead 1,200 miles home. Like I said, my patients are exhausted. I think these shops are absolutely like criminal. I'm not trying to be mean to the shop. I should watch what I say. I think this is just so wrong. Like, and here's the thing, this isn't my first time experiencing this type of service. I just wonder how my business would operate if the service I provided the customer was like this, like no communication, no talking, no real time frames on anything. No, part of the reason why I brought the truck to this shop that it's at was they told me they could get it done and they could get it done quick. It would be a quick turnaround after they got the part in. That's not the case. All the other places I called told me they were like a week and a half, 2 weeks out. Well, we're at that point now, right? So like it would have made more sense. Granted, the tow bill would have been a lot more than $150. The shop doesn't own the tow truck, but they work with that guy, and that guy was super cool. And I actually, like I said, I contacted him this morning and asked how much it would cost to take my truck out of there. But here's the thing, like, they're friends. You know what I mean? So like, he's like, oh, why do you want to take it out of there? I said, oh, they're having trouble getting parts. Like I didn't express my frustration. But where I want it towed to, he kind of gave me a rough estimate, and it's like, holy crap, like on top of all the expenses that I've already paid out and accrued, Like, do I want to add this expense? And still have to wait for my truck to be ready. So I would pay a fee. I would pay the wrecker, and then I would pay airfare to fly home. Do I want to absorb those costs right now? I'm at the point where I kind of do, because like, look, this is where I've been for like freaking 9 days, 10 days, however long it's been. Anyways, let me say hi to a couple of people. This Trucking Life's in the house. What's going on, brother? How are you? Great show. Or was that a video you did? Was a video or a short that you did where you and your daughters were on their bikes making the sign for truckers to blow the horn? I thought that was pretty cool to see. Edward's in the house. Good afternoon. Wow, crazy. Yeah, man, it freaking sucks, man. It's just horrible. Seven Seas Transport's in the house. What's going on, my friend? How are you? Trucka Dave's in the house. Still in the shop. We are still in the shop. And I don't know anything. They're not getting back to me. Yeah, not getting back to me. I was hoping that was an email from him, but that was an email. Another cool thing I should talk about, that was an email from my bank, who I think it's so important to have a banker that works in your favor for your business. I had to talk to them about some stuff today that's personal. I don't want to get into that, but I'll tell you what, the fact that you can call up your banker and like have a real conversation with them and then have them do things for you that benefit you as a business, man, there's something to say about that. Having a relationship with a good bank. I happen to choose a local credit union. Not a very big branch. They know me by name. They know my business by name. Makes things easier. Cassius King is in the house. What up, brother? I thought maybe you were still at home. They sold your truck to the cartel. Very, very, very possible. Very possible. Cattle Holland's in the house. What up, man? Man, it's been a while. I saw you left a comment the other day on one of my videos. I hope everything's going well with you. The wife and I would come and hang out with you again, but we're not up that way. Yeah, that'd be fun. That'd be fun. I need to get to South Carolina this year, I think. Come in and hang out with you. Ride some horses. I think that'd be fun. Barry's in the house. What's going on, man? Seven Seas, brother, I told you to be careful and watch out. Yeah, but hey, man, you're right. But here's the other thing. Like, you're out in an area that you don't know. You get the information from people that you deal with on a regular basis, and then you get information from another supposedly credible shop in this area that says, hey, I would love to work on your truck. I'm just overbooked. This person is very good at what they do. And you know what? The shop might be very good at what they do. What they're lacking is like customer service and communication with the customer. Because I am their customer. They know I'm an owner operator. They know I'm spending a lot of money for this hotel room. I feel like I should be a priority. When I went in there, there was one other truck in their shop, along with like some cars. But the way I look at it, not that I'm special, but you have a guy from Minnesota in your shop. You told him you could do something. He's been very patient with you. The least you could do is communicate with me. Like, I feel like that's the least you could do. Sorry to hear this, brother. That's sad. They keep making excuses. You have a heck of a lot more patience than I would. That's for sure. It really is wrong the way it really is wrong of them. Wow. Crazy, brother. Yeah, it sucks, man. It's like, I'm just frustrated. I'm to the point where I don't know what to do. Like I said, do I pay the wrecker and then fly home and try and get to the airport even? Like, I don't know how I can get to the airport from where I am, or how much that would cost. Money, obviously money plays a role in all this, but it's not the main like component. I am just fed up. Like, I've been in a hotel for a long time right now. I'm not happy with the customer service I'm receiving. I don't understand. I don't know if I've shared this. This shop has told me multiple times that they would come and pick me up and bring me to the truck, whether it's working or not. I told them I need to get more clothes. They always say they'll do it and then never do. Now, I'm not close to the shop. The shop is probably 40, 45 miles away from me. So I get its time out of their day. But why tell me you're going to pick me up at 7:30 in the morning and then not do it? And not even call me and tell me you're not going to do it. You know what I mean? That's happened to me twice. Really makes you wonder what they're really doing with your truck, finding things. Yeah. I mean, the things they're replacing, I like, obviously the one leaf spring, it broke. Ooh. Holy cow. Here's the email, or I just got a text from. What? Oh my God. I just got a text from the shop. I don't like what they said. The part did show up. Hold on. I know I'm being very, very pleasant here. You know what? Screw it. I'll share it. He just texted me. This is an hour and 47 minutes after I have called and texted. He said the part did show up. We're replacing it tomorrow morning. Why are you replacing it tomorrow morning? I want it replaced now. Like to get home. It's been kind of a crazy how should I phrase this? By tomorrow. I'd like to get moving as soon as possible. I have a family. All right, there we go. God. Sterling says these shops are the new normal. That's why I've said a couple of years. That's what I've said for a couple of years now. Don't buy one truck unless you can afford two. You almost need another truck for backup emergencies. Yeah, I can see that, Sterling. The other thing is, if you buy a second truck and just let it sit while you're waiting for your one truck to break down, you know, that can cause problems too. Worn out seals and seals, or not worn out, but seals and stuff like that drying up. It would almost be where, like, even trucks sitting for 2 weeks at a time isn't a great thing, but it would almost be a thing where you'd like have to switch off trucks, you know, take a truck out once, then take the other one out. I will say the cost of this experience is less than me owning a second truck. I'm sure the insurance on a second truck for the year would be more than what this is going to be, but it's a good idea to have a backup for sure. Seven Seas Transport says, side note, last night your internet was glitchy, but I mentioned you should consider step deck or flatbed for versatility and can usually haul most flatbed loads. Make sure bottom deck is at least 40 feet. Yeah, that's something I did talk about last night, and it's something I kind of am thinking about. Even when I went out to breakfast today. I've been trying not to spend money on food and stuff like that just because it's expensive. But I did have somebody cash at me a decent amount of money and said, "Hey, go get a steak dinner or go get something for yourself. Sorry for what you're going through." So I went out and had breakfast this morning, and I was on the load boards looking at loads leaving this area, going to Minneapolis or going to Minnesota or going to Wisconsin. There was 4 reefer loads leaving this area in a 150-mile radius going back to either Wisconsin or Minnesota. There was like 59 loads going to Minnesota flatbed and like 75 loads going to Wisconsin flatbed. The rates were higher than what reefer rates are too. I think there was just an accident outside. Sounded like an accident. But anyways, Grade Transport's in the house. Good afternoon, that reefer guy, that flatbed guy in chat. Yeah, we're switching it up here. We're changing it up. Little bit of this, little bit of that. Barry. Oh, I got a funny story. Let me see if I can show this without like showing anything. Let's see how I can do this. That's the message I want to see. Yeah, this is kind of hard to show without anything, I guess. So I emailed a broker that I deal with in Minnesota that I also know has some freight out here on the East Coast. And I emailed him last night, just saying, "Hey, I'm out on the East Coast." I was honest and said, "My truck's in the shop. It should be done Monday or Tuesday. Do you have any freight leaving this area?" Now, it's not a big brokerage, but this shows you how tight this market is getting. Here's his response. "Good morning, Scott. At this point, I have nothing at all. LOL. Business is very slow. If I get something today or tomorrow, you'll be the first person I contact. Hope your truck gets fixed soon. Take it easy, buddy." But that's a small brokerage out of Minnesota that right now has nothing. Like, that's crazy because it wasn't that long. Like, I've hauled a lot of their freight. It's not the greatest freight, but I've hauled a lot of it. And it always gets me to where I want to go. That's why I haul it. But man, even that's getting tough. That's getting tough. Us common broke people just use account numbers. Yeah, man. I kind of believe in having people on your side, especially in the banking world. My bank that I deal with has helped me out a lot. Once I was established, I also have like the what is she? I think she's the VP of the bank. I actually went to high school with her. And I wasn't happy with the bank that I was banking at. And I always saw posts on Facebook. And I remember seeing a post from her that mentioned that, she had gotten promoted at this bank she works at. And I was like, let me click on her page. So I clicked on her page and read where she worked. And I was like, hey, that's a local credit union. I'm going to call her. So I called her and haven't talked to her since high school. And she's like, "Oh, why don't you come in? I'll show you what we can provide for you." And I'll tell you what, it has been a very good experience. Sterling says, "Pack car trucks are so unreliable that my boss keeps spare trucks on opposite sides of the route, Reno to Portland, for example." That's crazy. That's crazy. I've heard good and bad things about those pack cars. What is that? The MX-13? Is that right? I've heard good and bad things about that engine. I do have some experience with that engine. One of the last companies, well, the last company I worked for before I came over here, they were all Kenworth, and they switched to Packard motors every time they got new trucks. And sometimes in very cold weather, they wouldn't start. Like, they just wouldn't start. It wasn't that the fuel lines were frozen. And if they did start, they sounded like a World War II like tank, like you know. Um, Shop fees is in the house. I hear you. I love the Polish guy in Chicago working on my truck, but they did not like dealing in English. My dispatch had to tell them to do what to do to my truck. Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like I just haven't found a reliable shop, and that's what gets me thinking. Like Granted, I wouldn't have been able to fix my leaf spring on the side of the road, right? But like, I need to learn more. I definitely need to learn more. Sterling. Yeah. They just swapped the transmission out real quick and coming up with all kinds of excuses. Keep trucks in rotation. Yeah, that's a good idea too, Sterling. I'm one truck though. Like I said, I'm not going to buy another truck for a breakdown. I mean, I would spend more insuring that truck than what a minus like a major breakdown would cost me. Seven Seas Transport says insurance on a truck sitting isn't worth it when you add all the costs of owning two trucks. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I could afford to own two trucks and just have one sitting not making any revenue. And I'm sure I could drop the insurance down to, just like replacement value where it's parked if there's a fire or something, which I'm sure that would be pretty low, but still, like I think if I added that up through the year, it'd be more expensive than, $5,000-6,000. Well, maybe not. Maybe not. But yeah, I don't know if I'd want a truck just sitting. Barry says, I have issues with the shop for not fully examining your entire front end upon starting the job. Maybe I'm too critical as a former shop supervisor, but you look further than just the obvious. Barry, I do agree with that. And I don't understand, like, when you're looking at the whole front end. I asked them to inspect things, you know what I mean? And like I said, then we get to the point of, well, we're going to replace this. Sent me the picture of the passenger side leaf spring, and I saw the bend in it. But then he's like, yeah, if this doesn't work, then we're going to do this. And it's like, wait a minute. No, we're not doing another thing. Like, and you told me you would like give me a ride back to my truck. So I expect you to do that. Otherwise, like, am I just going to hitchhike? You know what I mean? I know where the truck is. I know the name of the shop where it is, but I really don't know where it is relative to like where I am. You know what I mean? I know it's southeast of where I am, but that's about it. I wouldn't even know how to get there. I mean, that's why we have Google Maps, right? Sterling says, every truck breaks down on average 2 or 3 times a year. Really? Maybe a minor breakdown here and there I could see. I certainly wouldn't be broken down if I drove the truck the right way and didn't overreact. Yeah, I can share my email real quick. I think it should show up in the chat. maybe my internet's super slow again and not working. Let me see if it showed up. Yeah, there we go. Oh, hold on. What? I'm just here to tell you how to live your life. You are, Cash, my friend. You are. Okay, where did I leave off? Where did I leave off? We have Trucker Dave in the house that says, at Sterling Trucking, having 2 trucks or more without having a fleet with different drivers is not feasible. Well, like I said, I wouldn't want to have a truck sit. And honestly, like Sterling, how do I say this? Like Sterling was a mechanic. Like the guy is very knowledgeable. And he probably has a point, but it wouldn't work for me. You know what I mean? Like, having another truck, I mean, I guess I could have flown home right away. But even then, like, I was told it was going to be fixed in a day or two. 9 days later, here I am. Oh, hold on. Sterling says, with the rates and back office support Fate gets, another backup cash truck is feasible. But I'm biased because I can work on them. Yes, you can. And what back office support? Oh, you mean the fact that I'm leased on to a carrier and he takes care of all the carrier side of me being leased on? I guess, yeah, that's back office support for sure. The only reason I know how to do my IFTA and stuff like that is because I've asked. Otherwise, I would just get the printout emailed to me saying, oh, here's your return or here's what you owe. The only reason I know how to do it is I asked and I wanted to see how to do it because I believe in, even though I'm leased onto a carrier right now, I might not be forever. And it makes sense for me to learn from the carrier that I'm leased onto if he's willing to like teach me. Plays on the freeways in the house with a hey, Fate in chat. What's going on, Plays on the freeway? Hope everything's good with you. The insurance payments come out every week. You can't cash that portion. Try owning a truck, just driving one for someone else. Hold on. The insurance payment come out every week. You can't cash that portion. I don't understand. I don't understand. My insurance isn't taken out weekly. I pay my insurance at renewal because I save money that way. Instead of making monthly payments, I just pay every year before my renewal comes up. They send me what my new bobtail insurance and stuff is going to be, and I just pay that. Tolga's in the Tolga. I'm enunciating that wrong. I know I am. Is in the house. Cash is saying, I'm just here to tell you how to live your life. Well, Cash, what should I do? Should I jump in the shower and like well, I don't want to get in trouble on YouTube, but glad to see you're laughing, brother. Keeps your mind off of things going on. Yeah, I have to stay positive, man. I am, like I said, my patience is gone. Like, I'm a very, very like patient person, and my patience are just gone. Sorry. I should turn that down. Cash told me that that's really, really loud. There, I turned it down. Pioneer Spirits in the house. Good afternoon. Cash, show us your ways and we shall follow. Man, you're going to drink Cash's Kool-Aid, aren't you, Barry? Aren't you? I know better than that. Western Stars don't break down. Good call. Good call. Like I said, man, my truck wouldn't be broken down had I not decided to go bobtailing in it or bahaan in it. Cash says, I think it's time you take the trucking out of your name. I'm thinking, Cash, I'm thinking the same on my channel too. Well, you're still trucking, Sterling. As long as the weather allows you to, you're still up and running. I just turned this down. I silenced it now. Yeah, you can say a peep if my buddy who just texted me logs in here. You can say whatever you want, brother. Mark's in the house. What did he say? He said that the part showed up, but they're not going to replace it until tomorrow. And my text to him was, why are we waiting till, what did I say? What did I say? Why are we waiting till tomorrow? Question mark. Any chance we can get it today? I need to get moving ASAP. And then just to like, maybe pull on some sympathy strings, I have a family event in the next 2 days that I need to get home to. Keep me updated. No response. Are you at least Priceline negotiating those hotel rooms? So I'm not on Priceline because I book it through my rewards, the IHG rewards, but I did go down and talk to the general manager on Friday and said, hey, listen, like, I don't think I should, I've been here, it's going to be 2 weeks. Can I get a weekly rate? And I'm also a truck driver. I'm a Platinum Rewards member. Oh, good me. Can you help me out? And they did. I mean, my bill was cut pretty drastically. Drastically is not the right word. Over a couple $100, they cut the bill. Okay, good. I'm glad my pronunciation. I get it. I suck at pronunciation or pronouncing the right words. Trucker Dave says weekly, monthly, yearly doesn't matter. It's still money you don't want to pay on a sitting truck now. I assume not making revenue. I agree with you, Trucker Dave. I'm not in that position where I could do that. Nope, truck's not ready. Hopefully tomorrow. Well, put the damn leaf spring on and I'll take the truck out of there. Like, it's done tomorrow. It's just done tomorrow. Knowledge is power. Asking questions to the right guys is important. I agree. Fully agree. And that's why I pick DIY's brain. Cash is king. Even though he sits here and makes fun of me all day, like I bounce ideas and questions and stuff off of him all the time because they've been doing this longer than me. They've been in the owner-operator game for a long time. They've gone through multiple cycles. And if I don't ask questions, I don't feel like I'm ever gonna get to where I want to be. You know what I mean? When putting a truck in a shop, never confess. It will be a couple of days. It's going to take 2 weeks to start the work. Okay, hold on. Let me reread this. When putting a truck in a shop, never confuse. It will be a couple of days. With it's going to take 2 weeks to start the job. Yes, I agree. And so that's why my truck is where it is. Because all the other shops said, hey, we can get you in and we can order the parts right now, but we're not going to be able to get to you for a couple of weeks. I think it was like the middle of the month. I don't know why April 14th is sticking in my head. And that's where I ran into the issue of, okay, well, nobody's got the parts. Even the dealerships don't have the parts. Everybody's telling me they're 2 or 3 weeks booked out. Well, Had this guy told me, hey, it's going to be a week, I could have got my truck there and flown home. But that's not what he told me. He told me he ordered the part he didn't order the part until Monday. Was supposed to be here Wednesday. Didn't show up till Thursday. And then stuff just snowballed from there. I don't know why I'm not, Mark. Like, I know why I'm not. Here's the truth. Like, I'm not home because just like this, the exact text was, we got the part, we're going to put it on tomorrow, right? Okay. What if tomorrow comes and he tells me, oh, blah, 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 so like every time I've thought about going home, I mean, I can't tell you how many text messages I have from this guy telling me in a day the truck's going to be ready. I mean, this stretches all the way back to, try to get to it. I don't even know. So the first text from this phone number was the 28th, and he was telling me the truck would be ready the next day. And it's what's the date today? The 3rd. That's a different phone number. He actually gave me his personal phone number versus like his shop phone. So I have other text messages on there saying, oh, in 2 days it should be done. Trucking with T-Bone says, I don't know about that, but love my Western Star. Oh, saying Western Stars don't break down. But yeah, I wish I was home too, man. Cash is Kool-Aid. Barry says, do you need me to call this shop for you? No. Some 4-letter words. So that's the thing. Like, I don't want to piss the shop off. And I know I'm being like, that might not seem like a direct like message saying, why can't it be done today? Why wait till tomorrow? I can tell you just based on how he has interacted with me, he knows by that type of wording and how I put punctuation in there that I'm at my point of, dude, this has been long enough. Everybody that I deal with, I'm very pleasant. And like I said, I have a lot of patience. Like 40 a day for the room. No, it's more than 40 a day, Mark. But it's a lot less than $179 a day or $172 a day. It's a lot less than that. Sterling says, give me that shop number and let me tell them I'm your dad and they need to stop bullying you. Yeah. That's already been offered to me by a couple of other people. And, here's the thing, like they have my truck in their shop. Like maybe it's not in their shop, maybe it's sitting outside, but they have my truck. I am not going to do anything to piss them off. Let me go grab my hat. I'm going bald, so I want my hat. What's the best meal you have ate during this vacation? So I've only gone out to eat. Well, I guess you can consider the customer bringing me out to eat, but he paid for it. I've only gone out to eat twice. I went to breakfast this morning, and then I went to a Japanese sushi restaurant the other night. I went and had sushi. And that was really, really good. I mean, the fact that where I am, I guess tuna is not caught where I am, but the sushi was really, really good where I was. It was expensive though. I didn't have a lot and it was expensive. Mark Ely says there's a shortage of good mechanics. Yes, there is. Yes, there is. And you know what? I'm not a mechanic, so I can't really say that. But based on what I see out here, even trying to get like a stupid oil change done is like pulling freaking teeth. Trucker Dave says, when my truck was down, the two things that would have been worth paying the deductible on my insurance was towing and extra days in the hotel. Hopefully you're able to drive to the shop and 4 days down. Yeah, so my insurance, I do have that on my insurance, like towing and stuff like that. I don't know about hotel stays. I guess I could check into that. Maybe I should call them. I know I upgraded my insurance plan. But my first toll was $150. Super cheap. And honestly, I think my deductible on that stuff is like $1,000. So the one time I was going to use my insurance to pay for the toll, I think that toll bill was $500. So it would have cost me more to pay the deductible for the insurance than what the toll was. But yeah, I should check into that. That's a good idea, Trucker Dave. Thanks for saying that. Maybe my insurance can cover some of the hotel, because the $1,000 deductible is less than, maybe it's 500. If it's 500, it's a no-brainer. I need to do that because I've spent way more than $500 on a hotel room. Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks, Doc. I'm hoping cents per mile gets out here in the next couple of days, and I'll tag along with him. He can bring me back. Beast of Logan says, make sure they do an alignment before. Yep. That's what caused them to inspect the other side of the truck, was they had done an alignment on the truck and took it out for a test drive, and the steering wheel was still off like 10 or 15 degrees, and the truck was pulling really hard and like kind of nosediving down to the right. And he's like, wow, this is, the alignment says it's perfect. So then he brought it back in and noticed that the passenger side leaf spring was bent towards the back of the leaf spring. Yeah, who knows? Driving with John's in the house. What's going on, brother? Hey, Fade, any updates? I live at a hotel in Maryland. That's my update. Hopefully the truck, John, hopefully, I don't know why, like, how long ago was that? That doesn't seem like that long ago. Right? When did I just text him? So a half hour ago. Like, he texted me, I responded within 2 minutes and asked, like, why can't it be done today? And he hasn't responded to me yet. Fuck. Yes, you remembered, Barry. The reason Barry brings up this comment, we need to hunt down John Wick and beat his butt. He started all of this, was because I was bobtailing to go see John Wick. That's what I was doing. Yes, that's true at some hotels, Hollywood. Some hotels do give discounts for CDL holders, but here's the thing. I know hotels give discounted rates to like corporations or construction companies when their crews come to town. So that's what I did. I showed them. I said, hey, listen, like, I'm an actual business. I'm, can I get a corporate rate, this and that? And he's, the general manager's like, oh yeah, of course, go ahead. Or like, I'll give you a discount. And I think I shared before, the reason I'm staying in this hotel is because I get very good rewards. I get good cash back on my credit card for staying at this hotel. And it helps me when I go on vacation with my family. I earn a lot of points. So whether it's airfare or hotels hotel stays, that when I go on vacation with my family, I don't have to pay for a hotel, or I get discounts on my airline. Sterling says, everyone else in that hotel is wondering, why don't you have a bunch of girls in and out in random cars pulling up? Yeah. The staff knows me now. So like this morning I walked downstairs and I was walking out and the lady behind the counter said, oh, you walk into the store again? Because I walk up to the store every day. And I said, no, I'm actually going to go to Denny's and get breakfast. Only 14 thumbs up. Come on, drivers, give them a thumbs up. Yeah, thank you, Driving with John. Appreciate that. Fate is an awful pimp. There, had to say it. I am. I'll admit that. I know what I have waiting at home for me, I guess, Sterling. I will do nothing to mess that up. Put the shop number in the chat and we'll call. No. But I like that. Hashtag free the LT. I like that, Barry. I like that. Doc Holliday says, good idea, Trucker Dave. It was an accident, not mechanical failure. Yeah, but then, so would it show up as an accident? Like if I file a claim? I don't want an accident on my insurance record. I haven't had an accident on I don't remember the last accident I was in. I have been in two accidents in a commercial vehicle. I had a car. I was a route delivery driver. I was a milkman, and I pulled into a one of the service stations that we filled their coolers full of dairy products. And when we pulled into this service station, you blew your air horn, and I did that, and a car backed out of a parking spot and I hit him. Like I T-boned him going like 5-6 miles an hour. And the guy was hammered. Like the guy was drunk as hell, and he tried to flee the scene. And I ended up backing up and then pulling my truck kind of behind his car so he couldn't leave. And I just stayed in my truck and called the cops. Yeah, Barry, you started something. Hashtag free the LT. I'm sure I skipped a couple of comments. Pioneer Spirit says, I got to run. Hope you get back hauling soon. Thank you, Pioneer Spirit. Have a great day, man. Killians is in the house. Oh, my. On my way to, what's that? Coke Chicken Plant in Chicago. Prayers for that reefer guy. Well, I actually pray for you for going to if I'm enunciating that right, it's Coke, right? I didn't know they dealt in chicken. I'm probably enunciating that wrong or thinking of the wrong company. What up, Ron? Come on with it. Where is he? Come on with it. Probably leave me a bunch of dad jokes right now. Oh, sorry. I was reading the comment over here, not on the screen. I was the first thumbs up this time. Thank you. I appreciate that. Well, I don't know, guys. It's funny. You get motivated to do a live show and then you run out of steam. And I don't want to keep bitching about the truck. Like, it is what it is. I can't do anything right now. God, am I bored? I'm so freaking bored. It's not even funny how bored I am. Can only watch so much Netflix, so much Hulu, drink so much coffee. I'm going to show you guys something here real quick. This shows you how much caffeine I've been drinking. Like I'm like shaky, if you can see that. Even holding it in my left hand, like I'm shaky. And I think part of that's because I've drank a lot of caffeine and I'm really freaking pissed off. Like I said, no, my patience is just gone. You know, I'll talk to my wife or I'll talk to my daughters or my mom, and they're all saying the same thing. Like, I appreciate the, oh, I hope you get up and running soon, but like, I'm beyond that. Like, I just need to get the F out of here. The funny thing was, when I came back from breakfast this morning, there was a different lady behind the counter. And like I said, they know me now. So she's like, hey, how are you today? You know, what's going on? And I stopped and I looked at her. I'm like, do you really want to know? And she's like, yeah. And she walks out from behind the counter. They have like a seating area. And she's like, let's sit down. It was like a therapy session. So I sat down in the lobby. I'm like, listen, like, I am beyond pissed off. I said, I know I'm supposed to check out in the morning. I'm like, can I get a late checkout, like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, in case my truck's not done? And like, what if my truck's not done tomorrow? Like, that's what I'm thinking right now. What if they don't fix it? I do. Yeah. Great comment here. Walking each other home. I have been getting out and walking around. I've been doing more and more. Here we go. Here we go. Zimmerman Seal Coat Company's in the house. Dude, are you working right now? You want to come on here? Let me do something. Hold on, guys. Let me do something here. Oh, come on. Why is everything so slow? Here's what's going to happen. Looks like Velox got, yes. So real quick, Velox put up a video today. Go check it out. He actually texted me a couple of days ago and showed me kind of what was going on near where he lives. And it was like, my goodness, man. Oh, give Zimmerman. Yes, I should. I'm bad at giving wrenches. I am glad that Nick and his family and that, you know, I'm glad they're okay. Nick is such a good dude. Like, such a good dude. All right, let's see here. Zimmerman Seal Coat. Do I need to give anybody else a wrench? Is there anybody else in here that comes a lot, that comes in the live shows a lot and needs a wrench that I might be missing? All right. Oh, that's right. I was going to send somebody. God. I get so distracted. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Let me copy. Let me text Zimmerman here. We'll see if this fellow wants to come in. You know, for a long time, Zimmerman Seal Coat, if you're still in here, you were in my favorites because we used to talk all the time when we worked together, and you're no longer like right there on the top of my favorites when I open up my phone. I just sent you a wrench. If you're not doing anything, Zimmerman Seal Coat, why don't you come in here? Hopefully my internet will last, but we can talk about your transition from trucking to operating a very cool business. But yeah, everybody go watch Velox 18. Hollywood says, I've been watching your shows daily. Oh, okay. You must not comment all the time, Hollywood. And man, are you the guy that did you try and join the live the other night? There was somebody that tried to join the live the other night that, if that ever happens again, I don't think I'll ever put the link out there. There you go. Oh, Beast of Logan, Hollywood as well. Yeah, I just gave him a wrench. Check out my most recent video. It's the aftermath of an EF3 tornado that went through 30 miles north of me. 35 30 miles north of me Friday night. Show me the warehouse. It was scattered all over the interstate and truck flipped. That is crazy. That is crazy. Hold on one second. All right, I'm going to stay live for a little bit and we might get a guest. We might get a guest that comes in here. Vic Med's in the house. What up, Vic Med? How are you doing out there in Cali? Velox is the man. Yeah, Velox is a good dude, man. Very, very good dude. Jackknife TV stopping by to say hello. Is it just me or does he have no audio? Oh, I went silent there for a little while, Jackknife. I evidently, all right. Evidently, I get distracted when I'm on YouTube lives and do other things. That Beast of Logan, I got more motivation reading your spread in 10-4 mag. Oh, you went and read the magazine that he was in. Yeah, that was pretty cool talking to Beast of Logan the other night. I wish my internet was better, but he got put on the cover of a magazine and all kinds of cool stuff. What up, Trucking with MC? How are you doing? I just watched your video you put up too. Barry says, maybe Mr. Zimmerman need some help seal coating the world, seeing as how you have some extra time these days. I actually, I don't want to share too much. When he started his business, like I said, I used to work with him. He's a good friend of mine. And when he started his business, I offered to help him. I said, hey, if you ever need a guy on the weekend or something like that, I'm like, don't hesitate to call. I'll try and come and help you. You know what I mean? And at the time, the work he was doing, it was enough for one guy to do. But I know he's really expanded his business now. It was YouTube for some reason. I had to exit completely out of your channel and reset YouTube. I did that to your channel too, Jackknife, because I wasn't getting notifications of people that I enjoy watching. You know what I mean? So like I would get a notification on some weird channel that I must have subscribed to years ago, but not like the current ones. So I did it for DIY and you, Jackknife, because I didn't get an update on one of his videos or notification on one of his videos. Thanks, Hollywood. It was Truck Club Magazine, not 10-4. 10-4 only puts hood trucks on their cover. I appreciate it, though. Yeah, you're part of Plastic. What's it called? Plastic Truck Mafia. I should put that sticker on the side of my truck. You got stickers, Beast of Logan? I'll buy a sticker from you if you got stickers, because I kind of like that. I probably skipped a lot of comments. I'm sorry. I'm hoping Zimmerman Seal Coat Company can come live with us for a little bit. Talk about the seal coat life. The transition from being a truck driver to operating a seal coat company and like being pretty damn successful at it. Yes, sir. Oh, okay. I'll have to buy one. I'm working on them. Okay. Let me shoot me an email when you got them ready and I'll purchase one from you. I always email the times I have emailed you or left comments. I always call you the Dawn, you know, kind of play on the Mafia gang. But yeah, Plastic Truck Mafia. I would put a sticker like that on my truck. Make one have like black writing because that would pop against the red truck. Beast of Logan says seal coating probably makes damn good money. Well, he can talk about that because I also know, kind of like trucking, it's a very cutthroat industry. I don't want to share too much. I would like this guy to share it with us. But if you can kind of start a business and overtake an area or a county, man, like you grow from that. You grow from that style of work. And that's kind of what he did. He found out who his biggest competitor was in a certain market in Minneapolis or in Minnesota, and he went after that market. And you know what? Like the company he took on, like I can't believe he took them on, but he did. And as far as I know, he's been doing very well, and every year getting bigger and bigger, starting out like residential and moving into commercial properties, which that's where the money is, man. Commercial properties, lots and lots of money. Okay, I'll have to check out your channel. Are they currently on your channel, Beast of Logan? Here's the thing. I'll be honest about something, and maybe I'm not any different than other people on YouTube. Take, for instance, like Cash is King or DIY Semi, right? They have merchandise that they sell. Very seldom do I like go into descriptions of videos and stuff like that. I'll get a notification that somebody's posted a video, and I watch that video, comment on that video, and then leave the channel. I probably should interact on these channels that I do support 100% and like look at what they have. And if they have stickers or something like that, that's a couple of bucks, I should buy it, you know, because they get a cut of it. I'm fine supporting people. Yes, we do need the scoop from him. Coming soon. Okay, not yet with the logo. Coming soon. Okay, yeah, come out with a Plastic Truck Mafia sticker too. Because even if I go to flatbed, I'm gonna be running a plastic truck. Keep more money. Try and keep more money. Well, where is this guy? Where is this guy? I wanna talk to him. Let me hurry the F up, sucker. Full disclosure, if he comes in here, he will rip on me. Ron the Don, yes, that's great. That's great. Speaking of asphalt, is Minnesota more of concrete roads than asphalt? Great question there, Beast of Logan. It is a mixture of both. A lot of like the interstates are being redone to be concrete. A lot of like your county highways or your county roads are still asphalt. That's why we have such big, I mean, we have so many damn potholes. All right, I gotta keep it going for 2 or 3 minutes, evidently. I want him to like take the show over because I'm losing my voice and getting burned out because I'm lazy. But that's a great question, Beast of Logan. It's half and half. But we deal with a lot of serious bad freaking potholes in Minnesota, man. Like, man, some of the highways are just, they're treacherous. They're treacherous. Scott, you need to do more than your part of supporting other channels. Scott, you do more than your part of supporting other channels. Well, I appreciate that, Wheel Burner. Like I said, I have no problem supporting the people that like I learn from or that I think are like good people, right? And Wheel Burner, you're one of those guys. Like I've talked to you, I've learned from your channel. If I decide to go into flatbed a little bit, you're going to be somebody I talk to. Oh, here we go. Here we go. The Bulldog says he has a nice sticker for that LT. Yeah, that Bulldog. Dude, I wonder if the same incident would have happened in the Mac. Like, I don't know if the same problem would have happened. And just because that Mac was built like a freaking tank, man. That Mac truck was built so damn strong. The frame, everything on that truck was built like Mac tough. You know what I mean? With the International, you hit one little curb and your whole front suspension just gets destroyed. Jackknife TV says the Mac would have took it like a champ and brushed it right off. Probably would have destroyed the curb. Yes, I kind of agree with you. So Beast of Logan says, did you get rid of the Mac? I did. I sold the Mac to DIY. I don't think that's a secret. I think he shared that. I sold the truck to DIY. I had some options. I could have kept a driver in it, and realized that I'm not ready for that. I don't want to answer phone calls all times of the day and answer what I deem like dumb reasonings for things or dumb questions. And I don't think questions are dumb. I just don't want to deal with the headache. Then I had an opportunity to do a lease purchase with somebody, and I didn't want to do that either. Like, I didn't want to sell somebody the truck on a lease purchase and have them destroy the truck and then walk away from it. So I just decided to sell it. And I think for a while I regretted it. I don't regret it now. But I did for a while. Well, come on, Zimmerman. Guys, when this guy shows up, let's just give him crap. Don't make fun of me anymore. Let's make fun of this guy, because, you know, he's kind of being like the shop. Tells me one thing, and then it's something completely different than what he tells me. You know, I thought this guy was dependable, reliable. I thought you could count on his word. Oh shit, he's gonna rip me apart. You'll like Zimmerman. He is how do I say this? He will fit right in the little community here on YouTube. I would love for him. Hopefully my internet holds up. He could get a CD. And here he goes. Here we go. Let's bring this guy in. Yo, what up, man? Can you hear me?
Okay, hang on here. How do I? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah. What's going on?
You're out working, huh?
I'm actually just leaving work, and I had to stop up the road real quick and over here and meet this buddy of mine or whatever quick on my way to the bank. I'm having a problem with QuickBooks as first time as a business owner. So I had 3 years on QuickBooks through my account with my original bank account, my business account. And 2 months ago, I had a transaction get flagged, which I don't exactly know what happened. I don't know if it was on the customer's end or on our end. And they flagged one transaction back in December. And now all of a sudden, all of my plowing payments for the last month won't go into my bank account. And QuickBooks is holding them hostage. Yeah, I know it sounds kind of crazy. So I don't know if anybody else you deal with or talk to on there has any idea or has ever had that happen to them. So I had my wife, the pit bull, she got on the phone this morning and she called QuickBooks. And apparently we have to get a list of stuff that's like 10 miles long in order to get them to verify our account. And then the lady just kind of under the table said, look, if you have another business account, just put that into your QuickBooks and all your money will go into there.
Okay.
And I said, okay, so here we go. So I'm going to go, I guess, probably start another business account. I was down at my distributor this morning doing some work for him and got this phone call. And it's like, well, I need this money to go through. So I'm going to go deal with the bank here. And I left work and I just so happened to flip on YouTube before I was walking out the door down there and seen you were going and you're like, yeah, come on in. And so how's it going?
It's going great, man. It's so nice to talk to you. Because I think, how do I say this? Well, first, I just got to put this up there. Barry, a very loyal subscriber of mine, says, yo, bro, why ain't my parking lot finished yet?
Well, you know, I mean, it's a process. I'm only a one-man show. takes me a little while. So we'll get there one step at a time, one thing at a time.
And then I got one more thing for you, and then we'll actually have a conversation. Has the cataracts in your wife's eyes been fixed yet? Because there's no way that if she didn't have cataracts that you would be married to that woman.
Yeah, no, I know. She's quite the looker there. And
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm lucky, man. I don't know how I got so lucky. I lost my hair. My hairline started going at 17. It was creeping up to here. And now I don't know if anybody can see that, but yeah, there ain't much left.
So real quick, you've started interacting a little bit more on this channel when you have time. Kind of tell people, what you do. First, tell them about like what you're doing right now, the two styles of work you're doing through your company, and then what did you do before that?
So I guess right now we're wrapping up snow plowing, which is a first season for our business, and third snowiest season in Minnesota ever. I just looked at the inches. It was like 89.7 inches we got this year. And for one guy with one truck, man, we made it through. And that last snowfall that just happened this weekend, it was so wet that every shovel felt like I was shoveling a bag of wet cement. That's just what it felt like. It was horrible, but we made it through that, and now we're getting ready to gear up for the seal coating. So we do crack filling, we do line striping, we do seal coating, we do asphalt repair. All of my big stuff for like paving work and big asphalt work, I do sub that out. I'm not there yet. Skid loader's expensive, dump truck's expensive, a paver is expensive, and not only that, you got to have the crew to do it. But then again, I still get phone calls for people who want me to come out and give them a bid, even though I tell them over the phone right away, just to not confuse you, I'm not the one who installs it, but I'll come out and look at it and give you a number. And I just had another call the other day for that. And paving makes good money. Seal coating is the baby step into paving. I used to pave for almost 12 years as an employee, and I got fired because me and the general manager didn't get along. So I said, well, okay, I'm going to go into year-round work. So I went to truck driving. And as I got into truck driving, that took me down a whole bunch of different roads. I did trash, I did scrap metal, I did oversized loads. I've done roll-off, lugger truck. You name it, I've hauled it. I got my tanker endorsement and did that for quite a while. And COVID happened. And my wife is a bartender. Well, I was like, well, she lost her job and whatever. Then they called her back because she was one of the good employees. So she was getting her unemployment money that she was getting for COVID was taken away essentially. And she wasn't making anything because the restaurant scene was dead at that moment. I said, how am I going to make this all work? And I had my old beater F-150 and a little snowmobile trailer. I called it the little flatbed that could. And I went out and I bought myself a bunch of junk and started with a bucket, a broom, a backpack blower, a weed whip, and one of those 275-gallon totes. I'm sure every truck driver knows what I'm talking about, the totes in a cage. And that's how I started. And the first season we did 67 customers. And I was driving my truck. I'd show up in the morning, get in my truck. At this time I was doing the oversized loads. So I'd show up, I'd get my lumber, I'd run all the way out to South Dakota, drop my trailer, hook up to a load of oversized walls that they had built out in South Dakota, drag them back to the metro down here, park the load. And usually, we had 3 drivers. So either you did the South Dakota thing or you hauled loads in the metro. And when you hauled the loads in the metro, you have to deliver to all sorts of different locations. So some of the buildings that were burnt down during the George Floyd deal, that was part of some of the stuff that we actually rebuilt. But you're going to have to just hang on 1 minute. I got to put you on pause, buddy. I'm sorry. You're going to have to hang on.
That's fine.
All right, hang on.
Yep. I'm going to move you out. Just give me a thumbs up when you come back in. That's my buddy. We haven't shared his name, but that's Zimmerman Seal Coat. Super cool guy. Went from truck driving. Well, like he said, he did paving and asphalt work for a long time. Got fired from that because him and the general manager didn't get along. And then he got into truck driving. And that's how I met him. I worked with him for I think maybe 3 years, three years. I think him and I worked together. When he comes back, I'm gonna bring up a subject. He's the only guy that I've ever met that rips off steer tires and like gets 3 flat tires on like a mile drive. So I want to bring that up and make fun of him real quick. Yes. Saying hi to Nevada real quick. Hey, Nevada, what's going on, man? Barry says, good paving contractors are difficult to find. They are. Any type of contractors is tough to find. I've remodeled. I've had to hire contractors to like do roofs on houses or remodel something in my house. And I'm kind of lucky there too. I have a brother that owns a construction company. Very small. He specializes in like restoration work, like historic restoration work. So I'm able to like hire him a lot, or like his company to do some of my work that I need done at houses or whatever that I own. But finding good contractors is kind of like finding a good mechanic right now. It's hard to find. It's not the easiest. And I can speak for Zimmerman Seal Coat. He is a perfectionist. Any work that you get done by him is going to be done above and beyond what you even think it should be. He takes a lot of pride in what he does. I hope he comes back in here because I would love to keep talking to him as I sit here in the hotel room with nothing to do because my truck's not done yet. Seeing if he texted me back. Nothing. Okay. But yeah, I'm interested. So I know he was kind of getting into it. The way he started his business is he went and worked a full-time job driving truck. You know what I mean? Putting in 12, 14-hour days. He would get done driving truck, hop in this little F-150. Like when he showed me what he bought to start his business, I laughed at it. I was like, this is ridiculous, dude. Like this wouldn't even tow my boat. But he made it. Oh, here we go. Hey, give me a thumbs up. Are you good? Are you good? Okay.
We're good.
You're not driving, are you?
No. I don't endorse that.
God, dude, be careful. We could do this another time.
Oh, it's all good. I'm not worried about it. I got my phone down here in the holder, so as long as you can see me, we're good.
Yeah, I got you. So I was kind of explaining to them, you were working full-time driving truck, and then every opportunity you had, whether like at night you would go and do bids on jobs, right?
Yeah, so I started out doing that, and I realized in a hurry that I was running my rig, 12 foot. They of course they'd run us right up to where we didn't have to have escorts. They'd run it to 12.3, 12.4, and 12'3" oversized load. I spend my hours in the day or whatever, my miles in the truck, and at the end of the day, I'd get out of my semi, I'd jump in my little F-150 with my little snowmobile trailer, and I'd take off and I'd go do one driveway. That'd take me an hour and a half, and I'd go, I just made double what I made driving that truck all day long. And you got to mind, I've had my Class A since I was 19 years old. When I first got it, I wasn't even allowed to leave the state of Minnesota until I was 21, obviously. And so I've had my license for so long, and I've put a lot of time and effort into maintaining that license and my experience. And it was so funny to me that I was making more with a 5-gallon bucket and basically a push broom. And I was going, this is ridiculous. I mean, how can I be making more? And I said, okay, well, I know it's only seasonal and I have a family. And so I grinded out the first year and I did it on the side. And I made half of my year's income in 2.5 months on the side. And I said, well, that's obviously great. Everybody said, oh, why don't you just, well, I don't know if it's just greed or wanting more, wanting to be my own boss and live the American dream, you could say. And away we went. I said, I'm going to quit my job. So I drove truck all winter long, just chomping at the bit to seal coat. And then when the time came, I gave him my notice, quit, and I went full time. And I had no idea what was going to come of that first April. And slowly but surely, I lost my first bid. I quit my job. I went out. I got a driveway call. Good one, too. I was like, oh, that was a $1,200 driveway. That's a good driveway call for, whatever. And nope, lost it. I was like, just bummed out. And little did I know I would break six figures in 5 months.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow,
I remember you doing that. Like that's when we still talked on like a daily basis because we were driving truck. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I remember you quitting and literally just being like, if I don't do this now, I'm never going to do it. And I'm stuck behind the wheel of this truck. So like from me to you were an absolute motivating factor into me doing what I'm doing because we used to talk about it all the time.
All the time. I remember.
Yeah. I shared that you and I used to work together and we would run the same lane basically. And we talked about getting our own trucks or doing something for ourselves. But I wanted to let the people know real quick, you are also the only truck driver I know that blew 3 tires in like a mile. And one of them being the steer tire.
Yep. No, you're absolutely right. I did. I shredded one of them all the way down to, it was nothing but steel coil around the outside. And I couldn't believe it. And I had made it to the landfill and I'm like, all right, we're going to get this garbage unloaded. This is my first day, like in the truck following Scott. And I'm like, okay, here we go. And I get up to the top of the hill and I try to wing the corner around and something in the pile on the top, just boom, boom, boom. There it went. And I'm like, really? And they had to push me down the hill with the dozer, push me. Like I sat there, he's like, I'm leaving, I gotta go. He's off, he's going home. I sat there until the dozer guy came over to me in his pickup as they were getting ready to leave. And he's like, we gotta lock the gate. And I'm like, oh, and he's like, can you get that thing out of here? And I'm like, no. So here they go. They brought the loader over. They pushed me out the gate and then locked the gate, and all the landfill employees gave me the wave and said, see ya. So real quick, if you think about it, we're almost to Easter weekend right now. That's when that happened. That had to be 6-7 years ago? Yeah, something like that. No, yep, about 7 years ago, I think.
Easter weekend, because you and I were chirping on the CB on channel 19 as we were driving. And do you remember another guy coming over the CB radio saying, guys, it's Easter weekend, stop swearing. Like we were out in the middle of nowhere. It was like farm country. And he's like, I use this CB for business. Like, quit swearing. And it's Easter weekend.
Yep, I do remember that. I do. Yeah, he was not too fond of my language. So You guys will have to forgive me if I let it go because I try to not. And even when I put the business owner face on, it's hard sometimes. I let them go sometimes.
Yeah, no. Without sharing any names, I was telling people before you came in here, you when you started your seal coat company, I think you did it, dude. Tell people, like, you want to talk about owning a business. This gentleman got a freaking billboard for his business. Like a what type of billboard was EL, like the motion style billboards, right?
Yep, sure. Yep, the electronic billboards. I looked into that for my area, and I took out one billboard. And as you know, small guy swinging for the fences, and I'm looking to try to make it in this little area and community. And I wound up snagging my biggest client ever. Actually, he's a guy who owns 13 daycares. They're all the same. And he's into buying out little mom and pop daycares in cities around the metro that have failed, and then he revamps them and redoes them. So I've already done 5 of his properties now in the past 2 years. I mean, he's been a great client of mine, and I'll just say this for, the type of industry that I'm in, it's a very tough industry to sell sometimes. I guess because most of my clients are first-time clients. You call me, I come out, I look at your driveway. Either you've had it seal coated before or you've never had it seal coated. Most of the time I have to explain the process to everybody. Tell them why it cracks here or what happens there. And then we seal coat the property. My warranty covers you for 1 year from any damage of anything or any flaking off of the product or anything that peels up off of your asphalt. But it lasts for about 3 years. So once I do your driveway, you're not going to call me again for 3 years. And that's the other part about it. It is kind of a cutthroat market to the point where, well, there's so many seal coaters, you don't have to call me. So if you don't do a good job for that, what you'd call either right at the top of your range, cutthroat, within cents per square foot. If you're not right in the range, you're going to run yourself out of business. Right. And if you don't warranty people or do a good job, you're going to run yourself out of business. So,
and like I said, no names. I want no names said here, but like you took on in your community a very prominent seal coat company in that area.
Yeah, so there was kind of a hole in my market in a niche area. So I kind of realized it from my years in the industry that just north of the metro, kind of in the northwest corner, there's only a couple companies that will even go to that area. So I kind of did a little bit of research on who's really out there, even though I kind of already knew. It's a company that's been in business going on 27 years now. Very big, very prominent. They've done some of the biggest pieces of asphalt. They paved in some of the biggest pieces of asphalt in the area when it was originally done. They're a paving company and a seal coating company. And like I said before, I don't pave, I just seal coat. So that right there is a whole other aspect. They have a shop. They have all sorts of dump trucks, 3, 4, 5 dump trucks or something like that. They got 2 different seal coat tankers. They have bulk tanks. They have a crew of guys, 5 or 6 guys. They have seal coating, just seal coating. Then they have a crew of paving guys. And they are my biggest competition. But at the same time, I can't tell you how many customers I run into that go, "Are you affiliated with this company?" And I go, "No." And they go, "Have you ever worked at this company?" And I go, "No, I've never worked at the company. Not affiliated with them in any way." And then they'll hire me. But I have a feeling that if I told them I was affiliated or I had worked there, they wouldn't do it because that company had done their previous work and they're just not satisfied. And I hear it all the time how not satisfied people are with this place. So if you keep eating McDonald's, eventually you're going to want a Whopper, right?
Right. There's a comment on here that I'm going to read it and then I want you to answer it because I think for what you do, now think about trucking. Think about us as truckers and how we're fighting for the rates per mile and brokers and all that. Like we have a lot of middlemen that we have to go through to get what we get, right? So I'm going to read you this comment, okay? This is from Jackknife. He says, "Yup, construction has a much higher profit margin, and you are not relying on major corporations for the most part, and most of your competitors are business-minded, so it keeps the rates high." Like, I know that you've had talks with business people that would kind of argue that, say, no, like you just stated, you need to be within like a few cents per square feet of getting a job or not, right?
Yeah, I mean, so I'll just throw it out there. I'm pretty sure not many seal coaters are watching your channel. None of my competition's watching your channel. So my cents per square foot on residential driveways is 30 cents a square foot. Last year, inflation happened. I bumped my price up 10% due to the inflation. 33 cents a square foot. I did the numbers on it this winter. I lost 60% of the bids in I put in at 33 cents. I dropped my price down to 30 cents halfway through the year just to see what would happen in my terms of sales. I sold 90% of them. I think there was only, yeah. And it's just like, I'm talking pennies here, people. And it's so stupid because I debated this with my wife and I'm going, do you think 3 cents a square foot extra is too high? And she goes, well, no. She goes, think about it. I mean, what's 3 cents a square foot on 1,000 square feet? It's nothing. Of course they're going to pay the extra $30 or whatever. You know, I mean, most of the jobs are average size residential driveways anywhere from 1,200 to 1,700 square feet. So you can kind of do the math. It's, you know, what are we talking here? $30? They won't pay that $30. They'll find somebody who will come out and undercut me even at 30 cents. But these are what you're going to call the quote unquote gypsies of the industry. So the gypsies are the guys who give you the taillight warranty, you know? Yeah. Warranty's only as good as long as you can see their taillights. And then after that, it looks good from their couch, you know?
we got a great question here.
Yep.
This is Beast of Logan. This guy lives in California. He says, at Zimmerman Seal Coat Company, how long does it take to completely dry before you can drive on the new coating? So how long
well, I'll say up here in Minnesota, you know, it's obviously, I think, a little bit more humid than California. I've been to California once. So I'm going to say in California, you should be all ready to drive with your average weather within 48 hours. I'll say this. I get a lot of complaints about tire marks. If you drive on it, you're going to make a tire mark in it. But if you wait as long as you possibly can, if you wait a week, you're going to do less tire marks because even though it's good enough to drive on, there's still a soft factor to the material, and that's due to the clay that's in it. And that's what makes the tire marks. But when I get calls about tire marks on driveways, it's different than tire marks in parking lots. While people are going to expect seeing a tire mark in parking lot, right? On their driveway, they get a little bit more irritated about it, but it shows the functionality of the product. So where you took your F-250 and you parked right there and you cranked your wheels while you weren't moving, right? And you left that tire mark, if my seal coat wasn't there, you would have worn off the fine material of your asphalt, the very fine layers of sand, the very fine layers of rock, and eventually you'll get a pitted area. Eventually that water will get in there, freeze, break, crack, and then that's the beginning of cracks and potholes. So,
okay. The gentleman that asked the question was Beast of Logan, and he says exactly the answer I was looking for. Thank you.
Yeah, yep, about 48 hours.
So I do have another question, and I just kind of you were talking about how, or this kind of refers to the Jackknife TV comment that was talking about like usually big corporations don't determine what you make. Well, you have to purchase your stuff from a big plant, correct? It's a big corporation, correct?
Yeah. So I buy all of my materials from one place, and it is technically locally owned, even though it's a franchise. I mean, the brand is, so I use Star Seal products. Star Seal products can be found from the East Coast to the West Coast. I believe you can even find them in Hawaii. And I've known the distributor for a long time, going back to when I used to be an employee working and doing this job. So I buy all my stuff through him. And then, yeah, I mean,
but what I'm trying to get at is their prices can go through the roof, and you have trouble raising yours, correct?
Yes. And so that's kind of something I even ran into just around the area. You know, I mean, when you start out as a new business, you want to sell this to people. And, you know, I've told some face-to-face, no, I can't do it for that price. And they don't call me, and that's fine. But you got it. It's cutthroat. So, like, me and you, we've kind of joked about this. I'm like, oh, how nice is it to just go on the load board and be like, yeah, I'll take that money. Yeah, I'll take that money. Do you know what goes into making a sale for me? It's ridiculous. I mean, there is the marketing. There is the being out and about in the community. There is the having somebody see you do your work. Then I have to go estimate it. I have to measure it. I have to get the numbers right, because if they have somebody else come out and say, well, this guy measured it at 2,480 square feet, and this guy measured it at 2,500 square feet. You know, I mean, come on. So you got to do it right. You got to get everything right down to the detail. Then you have to wait to see if they want to open their checkbook and pay you. So it's,
all I hear right now is a seal coater whining and crying. That's all I hear right now.
Yeah. That's why you've seen my name on billboards and what is it? I put out 5,000 flyers around town. I got $600 or $700 worth of yard signs that are frozen into the snowbank still right now that say snow plowing on them.
Oh, that's awesome, dude.
It takes money to make money, I don't know. But it's a competitive market for what it is. But yeah, there's a really good profit margin to it. I mean, anywhere from 60%. And I mean, I don't know. I'm not trying to throw numbers out there or whatever, but I mean, average day, one man for me last year, I think my average daily seal coating was right around 2,700 to $3,000 a day. But you also got to mind, I only get about 100 days of weather that is cooperative with the situation for me. So you can't do it when it's wet. You can't put it down if there's rain coming. It's got to be dry conditions. It's got to be favorable conditions for extended periods of time, which we did get last couple of years. We had a drought here, which was a really good year for me in terms of weather. You never know what you're going to get in terms of, my first year was the wettest year on record in Minnesota, I think. And I still pulled off what I pulled off. So there's a lot of factors to it, but I can do good, and then, so I'm going to throw it out there. Why not? My biggest job last year was 150,000 square feet. Now, obviously I gave them a break on their price. It took me 4.5 days. At the end of the deal, the price tag was $45,000 for 4.5 days. And I slept in my bed every night, and I mean, yeah, there was material cost in it, but you're talking a third, maybe a little more than a third on that. And I mean, you just never know what's going to ring. And I've also debated on, I wanted to buy that truck from you. I wanted to lease that truck from you. I thought about it, and I got 4 kids at home, and it's tough to leave and be gone all the time. But then again, there's something about being able to be like, well, my broker found me another load. Well, my broker found me another load, because I don't get that luxury. I mean, I have to make my phone ring.
Yes, but I think you're also shortchanging yourself here a little bit, because what is this? Are you going to be going into your 4th season?
Yeah. So the way the paperwork works of it is I'm about to be year 3 of the business on paper, but this is my 4th season doing it, because I started it in the middle of the season, the first season, if that makes sense.
So you made a comment about when you apply the product, the Star Seal, and you get everything done in 3 years, people you have to redo it. How many repeat customers have you had? Are you at that point yet where you're getting repeat customers?
I've had 1 call me so far this year for a redo, but no, I essentially have got 1 million square feet of pavement under my belt as a business. I've got, I think it's 500 something individual first-time customers that have bought from me. So within the next couple of years here, that should ramp up. And I mean, in terms of commercial projects, that's a whole other thing. I've never had a parking lot on the books in the springtime. I got a parking lot on the books in the springtime. Last year, I did 12 commercial properties. The year before that, I only did 5. My first season, I did 0. So, okay, I started snow plowing this winter. I couldn't sell a parking lot to get snow plowed, as ridiculous as that sounds. Even some of the people I seal coated, I couldn't get them to buy from me, because usually the lawn care guys got a real good foot in the door on that already. They cut the grass, they'll plow the snow. So year 1 snow plowing, 0 parking lots. Year 2, we got it doubled down. I got 2 plow trucks now, so I'm self-reliant. 2 is 1 and 1 is none, Scott. You should have learned that. You should have kept that
back. Screw you, bro. Screw you. What I'm hearing right now is I should sell my truck and trailer and invest some money in this Zimmerman Seal Coat Company. And maybe work with you.
Okay, so you want to talk dreams for a second here? Let's go back to, when we used to talk about it sitting behind the wheels of our own trucks. Dreams. I got a call the other day. Well, I called one of my contacts that I've known for years. He was actually one of my old seal coat managers from one of the first companies I worked at. He owns a paving company now. And I called him and I was like, what's going on, Paul, whatever. And he was in the hot tub in Florida, actually. And I was like, oh, must be rough. It's snowing outside right now here in Minnesota. I'm getting ready to go plow. And he laughed and he said, how ready are you to hire people? And I said, I got enough trucks and gear to keep about 4 people busy if I could guarantee the work. He says, do you got a commercial melter yet? I said, no, I don't. I said, I have a little direct fire pot still. He goes, how are you interested in crack filling some township roads? And I said, I'm interested. And he goes, well, now I know this is, quite a bit of money. Brand new crack melter, 250-gallon one, you're looking at about 70 to 80 grand nowadays with the prices of everything. Brand new cutter, you're looking at anywhere from 15 to 17 grand, depending on what brand you buy. So he wants to talk about partnering with me and buying me this equipment so I can hire people to go do this recurring contract. It's $500,000. It should take you no longer than 8 weeks every year. And that's their budget to maintain this county's roads because they don't own their own crack filling stuff and they don't want to hire the crew and whatever. So that's a dream of mine. Now, do I think it's going to happen? No. He said, I'll figure out how real this is and we'll talk. Maybe it will happen, maybe it won't, but I'd never be in this position if I didn't start with a bucket.
Yeah,
Going on 4 years ago.
I go back to the conversations we had when we were behind those Kenworths, and I look at the positions that we're in today, and I'm not saying they're like super extravagant positions or anything like that, but they are better than where we were. Do you understand what I'm getting at? I know your upbringing, my upbringing, we know each other's families. I couldn't imagine if we were still behind the Kenworth of that truck where we were. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. I'll just say this. I'm sure a lot of people that watch your channel are their own owner operators. The guys who've already made that jump. For the guys who ever watch this who aren't, I'll just chase the dream, man. There's nothing better than being your own boss. It's one of the most rewarding things I've ever done next to building my family, So I had a choice again this winter. Am I going to buy a plow truck and go snow plow? Or am I going to quit my job or go look for a job and drive for someone else? I shut the door on working for somebody else and driving truck. It's been over a year since I've been behind the wheel of a big rig now.
And sometimes the sacrifices that we have to kind of go through to not have to punch a clock every day can be tough, right? I operate a business. I'm spending thousands of dollars right now with no revenue coming in. I know you've been in that position too. So sometimes it's stressful, but the reward, the not having to ask for days off, making sure you're fortunate that you can be at your kids' birthday parties and stuff. I know how much that means to you. You know what I mean?
Yep. I got 4 girls, man, and that's a big thing is family time. That's part of the reason why I couldn't do what you're doing right now. If I was you, I would have hopped on a plane however many days ago. So just call me when it's done, huh?
Yeah, you're right, bro. You're right. And that's a recurring theme that I'm hearing in my chat a lot. But Barry comes up with a good point here. You know why I'm in the hotel, right? I hit a curb with my truck.
Yep.
You know that? Okay, so Barry's got a good comment here. He says, Scott is the perfect business partner for Zimmerman Paving. He can manage all the curbing.
Yeah, you'd be a real good guy. I'd send you out to do all of the curb checks after it's installed.
I just also want people to know this in case anybody decides someday they want to get tough with me. These are my Minnesota friends, and tell everybody how big you are real quick.
Yeah, I'm about 6'4", 275 on a good day, I guess. I don't know. Oh, I'm losing the camera. There we go. Yeah, about 6'4", 275 on a good day, I guess. And
yeah,
I don't know. I'm kind of big and dumb.
You look down at me. The height difference when I have to talk to you is, I mean, literally, I'm like this talking to you. It's hilarious. But,
You were talking about the flatbed thing, and I did laugh picturing you walking up to the side of a nice, one of them skateboards that's got a good round in the middle still. It's really high, You'd walk up to that thing, it'd be almost to your chin, huh? Like, how are you gonna throw straps?
oh God, dude, I can pick you out at any time, bro. At any time you're gone. No, I find your story definitely inspirational. I think that you, like I said, man, you're part of the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing right now. And I've probably never told you that. But it's the truth. Like the fact that you turned away a good job, your driving job was a good job. You bet on yourself. You bet on yourself. You've been through some highs, you've been through some lows, but you got a smile on your face. And you talk about living the dream. Like that's motivation for me to keep doing what I'm doing because I do love what I do.
Oh, yeah. Yep. No, I know that. I know it. And I'll say this. Me and you used to talk about it a lot. You were like, man, it'd be so great to just own my own truck and put my own name on the side. And I remember I started my little business and I was giving you crap one day. I remember this and I was like, I'm making more money than you are in my little F-150. My little 150, my little 2x4, here it is. Get more money than you. And it pissed Scott off so bad that day. I just heard it in his voice. And I don't know.
Hey, Zimmerman, I'm losing you. You have a bad signal.
I was proud of you, man.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, you're losing me?
Yeah, but so repeat what you said.
Well, I was just saying that I remember how pissed off you were that I was making more money than you were driving your milk truck all day. Or you were driving it and delivering it in two-wheeler dolly and milk around. And I was making more money in my little F-150 after work. And you were just like, God, And I told you, I said, pardon the language, but I said, well, Scott, shit or get off the pot, rock star. I mean, are you gonna buy a truck or what? I was just giving him shit as far as I could give him shit till he couldn't take it no more. And then he calls me like 2 weeks later and he's like, guess what I did? I'm like, what? Started my business. I filed my papers today. And I laughed. I mean, I was so proud. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm proud that, to see the journey from knowing where we both came from and how we both literally used to walk through garbage. That was what we did, man. Me and you together. We used to walk through garbage every single day. And now, I don't know. It's unreal to see what a few years of effort will do for you,
No, and I think a lot of people get turned off by the risk that we take to be our own bosses. And I think this is a prime example. I mean, I'm driving trucks still. You have an absolute skill in what you do. How many times have I told you I wish I had more skills than what I do? You know what I mean? Like you had a skill and you had a dream of what you wanted to achieve with that skill, and you're living proof that it happened with some major sacrifice, man. Like there's sacrifice in this, but the reward is just phenomenal. You know what I mean? No, I still get jealous when I talk to you, man. I remember talking to you a while ago. Like I said, we don't talk as much as we used to, and that's just because we're both busy doing stuff. But you're like, I'm at my daughter's basketball tournament, and I'm out on the road somewhere. I'm like, oh, you son of a bitch. Like, I'm missing my daughter's birthday. Like, that's honestly what was going through my mind. But that's the choices I made. You know what I mean? And I'll never forget when you sent me the picture of that little F-150 you had with your name on those magnets. And I thought, this son of a bitch, like everything you were doing is exactly what we talked about doing. So it was motivating. It was motivation for me to do it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So just real quick, rewind on, you said you wish you had more skills. I'm surprised, I mean, you got a lot of skills, man. I mean, by this point, with all the time you spent in hotels in your trucking career, you'd figure you'd know how to run like the front desk or like, turn down a room or restock the towels or, I mean, I know you know how to hit a curb. So that's another skill you can add to the resume.
Why do you do this to me, bro? Why? I get it.
Because I gotta give the boys in the chat a good laugh, huh? I mean, when I type it just doesn't come across the same,
Right. Well, that's like me trying to explain the look on your face when I looked at you and I said, "What hotel are you talking about?" And I had parked in front of it for 2 years. And that was the look you gave me. And let's be honest about something else, because I noticed you're wearing black sunglasses. Do you remember the sunglasses I used to wear?
Oh, he used to wear the ones with the white rims. Oh, I used to give him the biggest crap about it. I don't know. I know people wear them. It is what it is. It's a fashion thing for me, and I could never strap a pair of those on my head. I already got enough shine going on. I don't need anything else that's the white on my face, so, but yeah, he used to. And then one day I come into work and I open my truck and I climb up and I sit down and I throw my lunchbox down in the middle and I fire up the key and I sit up and I look up and there we go. There's a pair of white sunglasses on my dash. He just left them sitting there for me. I was like, oh yeah. I pulled into the landfill looking styling that day.
Oh, good days, man. Those. I mean, it wasn't the good days, but it was because there was at that time. The people that worked at that company, the people that you and I associated with at that company was like, it was the good days back then. And then everything just went to crap. But,
yeah,
no, man, I think you're, like you said, you just got done doing your first year of snow plowing. So you grew your business in a different direction than what I thought you were going to. Can you talk about that a little bit and what made you think about buying a snowplow truck? Because that's not cheap. And you don't have to say numbers, but what made you think of doing that?
Well, I mean, you got to look at it like this, okay? So I got 5 months. I mean, if I get into more of the true blacktopping work and which I'm getting there, a little bit more equipment, I could add it to like 6.5 months, maybe 7 months, weather dependent on how much you can truly work in the state of Minnesota in the blacktop industry. Now, I guess I looked at it and I said, well, what am I going to do for the winter? I can drive or I can try to make money for myself. How am I going to make money for myself? And then I started running through my head. Should I start another business? Should I this? Should I that? Should I whatever? No, just add a service. It's technically maintenance, right? I mean, you got to get your parking lot cleaned off when it snows. It's just got to happen. People need their driveways cleaned off. So I said, I'm an asphalt maintenance company. I'm going to maintain during the winter time too. I mean, I almost have more calendar days, depending on the weather, to plow snow than we do to seal coat. So now the difference is that snow plowing is a super cutthroat industry. So from my doorstep, within a 15-mile radius of me, nobody owns more seal coating equipment than I do. And I know that sounds ridiculous because I don't even have all that much, but in 15 miles of here, nobody owns much seal coating equipment, right? In 15 miles of my front doorstep, every Tom, Dick, and Harry owns a shovel or a snowblower or a snowplow or a bobcat or a tractor it was ridiculous. So I tried to sell snow was a whole other thing. The market's just totally different and kind of underestimated that. But I said, I'm going to maintain parking lots and driveways 365 days a year. And somehow I made it. Third snowiest year on record. One man, one truck, one snowblower, one shovel. I even had the plow fall off in the middle of the winter this winter. In between storms. It stormed on Monday. the plow fell off 2 driveways from the end of the list. Like, I mean, it snapped smooth off the truck here, people. A used plow, just poof, there it was, snapped off the truck. I had to chase down the only mount I could find in the state of Minnesota. Wake up the next morning, leave at 5 in the morning, drive 3.5 hours to this little tiny marine shop where this guy's like, yep, I had this sitting on the back shelf for about 2 years now. And I'm like, oh, great. I buy this part from him. I take it back home. I slap that thing on. And the next day we got a record like 17 inches.
So
Like,
without saying the city I live in, right? So don't say towns right now, but I find it nice that you're able to plow other people's driveways, except your friends, when you make their wives go out and snow blow it. It'd be nice to come home and have a nice plowed driveway at my house.
yeah, I hear you. And I'll tell you what, if you lived any bit closer than an hour and a half, it's about an hour and a half. I mean, that's if I'm stomping off.
Yeah.
It's an hour and a half.
Yeah.
You know, people, when they drive past my house, if they're from the metro, they consider my house up north.
All I'm going to say,
funny.
Yes, you live up north. I live in the metro. You live up north.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, all I'm going to say to that is, when you need a truck and trailer to move into your mansion, don't call me, because I'm not going to be there for you. I got a question here for you.
Yep.
An unbiased opinion. Would Mr. Zimmerman buy a Mack or an international truck? I already know what type of trucker you are. You're the hood truck. You want the long nose Peterbilt that costs you $1.05 to drive down the road. I already know that about you.
I do like the look of a nice long hood. I do, but I'll just say this: I cut my teeth in an 18-speed Mack, so it's Mack all the way, man. I mean, I know you were sad that you wanted to get rid. I was kind of sad to see it go. I mean, they don't say built like a Mack truck for no reason. I mean,
right.
You know,
right? No, I agree with you. Well, I'll tell you what, bro. I'll tell you what. I need to kind of end this because I'm getting tired.
Yep.
I cannot thank you enough for you stopping in here. Like,
yeah.
For all you that don't know, this is Zimmerman Seal Coat Company. Do you want to share? I know you're on one social media platform. Do you want to share that out or no?
Yeah, I mean, we're on Facebook. You can find me on Google. You know, I'm gonna hang on just real quick. I'm doing it. My wife hates it. She says it's so cheesy. But if you need your parking lot or your driveway done, call Z Best in the business. That's right. That's this guy.
Okay, before we go, there was something that I used to love, and you know that I'm not witty like you are and stuff like that. And I can't come up with things the way that normal people do because I'm just not built that way. You used to get on the CB and say the most craziest like handle and stuff like that. Can you do that for us real quick? Do you remember how to do it?
Oh man, okay, it's been a long time, but hang on, it's oh, you're gonna have to just hang on. Time out 1 second. I gotta think about it. It's BABDBR, right? No, it's BABDBB. Okay, yeah, you're talking to BABBDR. That's big or badass, big dick, big really badass, big dick, big rigging son of a bitch. Don't you know? Yeah. Here we are on the channel 19er, and we're heading eastbound and down. We're loaded up, making some of that Wisconsin cheddar, baby, and it's smelling mighty Gouda this morning. How you feeling out there, Wisconsin? Huh? Come back now, you hear?
That was the best to hear in the morning when we were on 94. Like, you have to understand what him and I used to haul. Like, most people would throw up. I mean, that's the reality. And just hearing that would make my day. You know what I mean? I loved hearing that. Oh, did I lose you? Bummer. I think I lost you, bro. If you can oh, there you are. You there?
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I can't thank you enough for the time. Like, for real, this has been. We need to do this again because, like I said, I think your story is inspirational. I think you operate a very good business that has, same as me, ups and downs, and we deal with the bullshit of being our own bosses. But I wouldn't trade it for the world, and I don't think you would either. now we're going to do what we need to do to provide for our families because that's who we are. But there's something to say for what you've accomplished. There really is.
And right back at you, man. I mean, for real, right back at you. I know I've told you before, but I'm proud of you, man. Scott was he was super hesitant, man. Like, I mean, I know none of you really know him, but I'm just gonna real quick touch into it. He did like months of research and numbers and my miles per gallon, and if I can get this, and if I'm paying this much for he was doing all the math 3 months before he even filed the paperwork to be a legal business. He just was just so hesitant about it, and I'm just glad that you did it, man. Like, I am, because I mean, I know you are too. So oh, I think I lost you, man. I think I lost you. Adios. Adios.
No, I appreciate that, man. You used to make fun of me because I would tell you, "Oh, driving, I'm driving 60 miles." Oh, shoot. Well, I'm back. My internet went terribly down. That was Zimmerman Seal Coat. What a hell of a guy. What a hell of a story. If you knew half of the stuff that I talked to him about before I did what I currently do, you would be surprised. He kind of touched on a little bit about all the research I was doing. I was driving a company truck that I would drive it to try and save fuel mileage and trying different things as I was a company guy. And he would be on the phone with me saying, "Why are you worried about this right now?" And I tell him, "Oh man, if I buy a truck, like I want to know all the ins and outs." Well, thank you, Tolga. I appreciate that, man. He's a very good guy. Fate, I think there is something wrong with your connection. No audio here, but the video is too choppy. Yeah, my internet sucks. My internet comes in and out. Be careful, Mr. Fate. This was a great one, or this has been a great one. Well, I appreciate that, Barry. Yeah, I think I'm going to get off now. I really appreciate everybody stopping in here today. Yes, he does. What do you guys think about him getting a channel? I've been trying to get him. Here's the thing: if he gets a seal coat channel, he's gonna blow up because he already knows how to operate a drone. He has sent me like videos that he's done that he's posted on some social media websites with a drone. A time lapse of him out in a big parking lot. The thing is absolutely fantastic. But yeah, I don't know. That's such a good guy. He didn't say his name, so I don't feel comfortable saying it. But that was Zimmerman Seal Coat Company. If you live in Minnesota or even Wisconsin, he might go out to parts of Wisconsin and you need seal coat work done, check him out because he is an absolute perfectionist in what he does. And I think you'll be very happy with the work that he does. So anyways, peace out. Hope everybody has a great day. Hopefully, maybe I'll go live tonight because I don't know when my truck's going to be ready. So we'll talk to you all later. Have a good one.